Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by MeUndies. For 15% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/InsideGaming.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Thursday.
It's Thursday, it's Detective Thursday. We got a lot of Borderlands 3 drama to talk about today. It involves leaks, a YouTuber, and even private investigators.
Yeah, this one is gonna sound like a detective novel when we're all said and done.
We got some exclusive reporting to share with you guys. This is very exciting. Okay, so this involves a YouTuber named Supmato. He's been circulating a bit lately. He's recently become known in the Borderlands fandom for posting leaks about the upcoming Borderlands 3.
Tell us more, Alana.
Well, since last year, he's been posting videos about the upcoming game with all kinds of leaked details, and they usually turn out to be true. So someone's leaking some stuff. Turns out all those leaks got a lot of attention, and not just from Borderlands fans. Publisher Take-Two Interactive had some questions about them too.
So spicy.
Sorry, Alana, can you pull that #1 celebrity gamer trophy back towards you? It's like huge, I just noticed when
It's a big trophy.
What if I like that about it?
And then earlier this week, Supmato dropped a bombshell saying that last month, Take-Two sent private investigators to his house to grill him about, you gotta chill out, all the leaks he's been posting on the channel.
I know, that's pretty intense, right? When video games get real, there's like Men in Black bashing on your door. Yeah, Supmato said in his video, it was stressful, quote, having two people in suits you don't know show up to your home.
Do you think it's the suit specifically that got him? He just has a phobia.
Yeah. If it's just like a dude in board shorts and a polo shirt being like, hey, stop posting those videos.
Be like,
Dude.
I got you.
That only happened a few weeks ago. This was apparently part of a larger 10-month investigation by Take-Two and 2K Games into leaks about the upcoming game.
Damn, imagine if someone had been investigating you for 10 months and then you just found out.
That's part of this story that I really find interesting, is that they had eyes on him the whole time and he thought he was just being this little sneaky little guy.
They were e-stalking.
They were e-stalking him, yeah.
I could do that.
Love that website. So the question is, how did Supmato get this information, Alana?
Depends who you ask. The case centers around some Twitch streams used by the game's developers Supmato gained access to and was the source of a lot of his information. He claims he didn't do anything nefarious and that he was just following publicly available information and tester accounts. And in his video, he said, "It's not some crafty workaround. On April 29th, the official Borderlands YouTube channel posted the reveal of the Twitch extension leading into the gameplay reveal, and the name of the testing accounts were exposed in that video." He also claimed that it wasn't found by him, rather is also posted to Reddit and other social media, and that's how it was brought to his attention.
Yeah, but clearly Take-Two didn't feel the same way. And after that visit from the private investigators, the really hit the fan from there.
Yeah, the day after the investigators visited him on July 26th, Supmato said he got 7 copyright strikes on his YouTube account, one of which still stands. He's not sure what happened to the others.
I thought as soon as you hit the crossing line, your account was gone. I thought as soon as you got 3, yeah.
Maybe they were claims rather than strikes?
Could have been. Maybe it's like, we will strike these 7 videos unless you take them down.
Yeah,
so maybe he like worked the angles. We don't know about that specifically, but his Twitch account was also terminated for allegedly, quote, accessing private streams, which kind of contradicts what he said.
And his Discord server is now terminated, along with his account for being involved in, quote, selling, promoting, or distributing cheats, hacks, or cracked accounts.
Yeah, Supmato denies he was involved in any of that. Meanwhile, Supmato has deleted his own Twitter, but that was apparently his call, not Twitter's.
Twitter will keep you up forever.
Yeah, apparently you can, just espouse total genetic cleansing, and that's cool.
And pornos. For now, his YouTube channel is still up, but Supmato feels like his days could be numbered.
So the way that the narrative sounds, Take-Two is out here breaking kneecaps of anyone who dares leak info about their game. They're really throwing their weight around those big video game fat cats, but not quite.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we've done our own investigation. We hit the streets too. I put on my beige trench coat, put on my little hat, put in a cigarette, started knocking on doors, and really, I just sent some emails. Anyway, Supmato left a lot of very important information out of his come clean video. Shocker, yeah. So we reached out to 2K, which is owned by Take-Two. It's confusing, there's two twos. And got their side of events. And yeah, there's a lot of details that Supmato chose not to cover, kind of left out of it.
Our goal here is to just present all the facts and then I guess make up your own decision. There's an interesting turnout at the end, so stick around for that. The whole thing does sound a little suspect though, right, Alana?
Yeah, I mean, here goes Inside Gaming again, shilling for corporations, but here's how it'll make sense by the end. So let's address some automatic concerns off the top. For starters, why wouldn't 2K just say all of this themselves? Well, unfortunately, the situation is getting close to legal proceedings, which means all parties have to be very careful about what they disclose publicly. That's also why Supmato appears to be reading a very carefully worded statement in his Come Clean video, rather than riffing YouTuber style or being more authentic. And as a result, we won't directly be quoting the information we received from 2K, but they did send us screenshots as evidence, and yeah, it locks together pretty well. They could have faked the shots, but that seems less likely.
Why a big corporation would do that? That just opens themselves up to even even worse legality,
I don't see
right?
that happening.
I don't know.
Maybe because they're evil game developers and they hate their fans or something, but I don't think that's true.
If you're going down that track, hopefully the chronology of 2K's actions will change your minds once we get into it a bit. Basically, they could have come down on him a lot harder a lot earlier, but they wanted to hold off because they didn't want this to happen.
And also, Lawrence didn't stop there, did you, buddy?
No. I put another cigarette on the other side of my mouth, put on another hat with another press card in it. We're journalists here, at least we like to think that. So we also checked that information through a real, actual lawyer. Since this story hinges around Submato's actions supposedly approaching illegal status, we wanted to see if that was actually true, or if Take-Two/2K were just throwing their weight around to bully the poor guy. Here we get into the other side of the story. Here's 2K's versions of events. First off, they know that Submato was a relative nobody until November of last year.
Burn.
I mean, he was just making his own little videos. He was just being a cool little guy. But that changed when he started leaking accurate information about Borderlands 3. All of a sudden, his videos start getting tens of thousands of views. He actually starts blowing up pretty big.
Take-Two and 2K noticed, but by the same token, leaks are not uncommon in the games industry. We've seen them for years.
Yeah.
They hurt, but the publisher was willing to eat it up. That's just how these things go.
Yeah, you gotta take it on the chin a little bit. They even acknowledged that they didn't want to punish a guy that was clearly a Borderlands super fan. That's the worst case to be in. You don't want to stifle someone that's helping to promote your game for free. That's the best case scenario. They're out there doing your PR work for you.
But then Submato crossed a line when he started offering perks to people who paid $5 and joined his YouTube channel.
Yeah, what does joining mean, Alana? What is that all about?
Joining is basically when you allow access to a private Discord room. Well, that's how he used it, and he posted full dumps of all the leaked info, and they knew because they did it. So 2K paid the $5, and they provided us a screenshot of the Discord to verify that, and it's totally true. We can't show you guys because confidential info, not to mention the usernames and everything. Basically, the whole thing would be a blurry, pixelated mess that wouldn't prove much. So we can't.
Actually, why not? Hey, Autumn, hit him with those pixels. Bam, proof.
Beautiful.
You have to trust us here a bit, but we saw it, and yeah, there is a Discord that is locked that has just a dump of a bunch of confidential info on it. What we don't have here is a screenshot of the join page on YouTube that specifically says that joining will provide you access to this private Discord. 2K was unable to get a screenshot of that before the wording was changed, presumably by Submato. Presuming that 2K isn't fabricating that part of the story, and it's kind of hard to imagine why they would, really? Directly charging for access to confidential information is a step too far. That's when Take-Two started to directly confront Submato about these leaks.
As for how he actually got his info, 2K says that the Twitch streams that Submato got his info from were private and not public.
So this is also where it gets a little fuzzy. These streams were intended to test Twitch functionality, a practice that is pretty common, right, Alana?
Yeah, typically you want to test everything about a stream before you go live just to make sure it all works and doesn't look like us. In this case, there were 6 dev Twitch accounts that Submato and his community were following. They weren't able to actually view the streams, but through a bug in Twitch's mobile app, they could see the thumbnails of the content in the streams, which is still pretty exploitative. That's how he got his info, including some unannounced skills for the Vault Hunter Flak and some other features regarding endgame content, which still hasn't been announced.
Twitch auto-generates thumbnails of live streams. I guess he could just see a whole list of them, but those streams were private, weren't meant to be seen, so that instance actually made Twitch aware of the bug that has since been fixed.
Okay, but the question is that illegal? To get answers, we reached out for a comment from a actual real-life lawyer.
I love that phrase. It's like we found a mystical clearing in some meadow where their lawyers just grazing. They all looked up. This comes from attorney Adam Gertz, senior counsel at the LA firm Morrison Rothman. So here's his take. Gertz said that if Submato, quote, actually did exploit Twitch's security to access and subsequently copy or reproduce the Borderlands 3 material, that would be a crime under California law. Gertz also added that, quote, regardless of whether he had improper access or not, Submato may still be technically liable for downstream copyright infringement in light of his distribution of any images or videos. Oof. He added that if Submato didn't hack Twitch's streams, quote, Take-Two probably won't sue, given that he would likely be able to prove that his infringement was innocent and thus severely reduce damages under California law.
Ooh, yeah, so there's a legal perspective for you, and it coincides with the boundaries 2K expressed to us. Basically, leaks suck, but not much can be done about them if the information gets out publicly or freely provided from an internal party.
Yeah, but it gets real bad when an individual intentionally circumvents or bypasses active security to obtain that information, like using an exploit in a specific version of a service to view private information, and those streams are obviously private because you have to do such a workaround to see them. So it would be hard, I think, in this case for Submato to argue that he stumbled upon these things, or that it wasn't obvious that that information was attempted to be hidden.
Okay, so we got all that out of the way, but what about the whole sending private investigators? What was up with that, Alana?
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Well, yeah, it seems like a pretty heavy-handed intimidation tactic, and maybe it was. The dude is out there f***ing up people's shit after all, but Take-Two said the point was to communicate to Submato that they wanted him to stop and cooperate. We're gonna guess cooperate means tell us who gave you this info, we're gonna copyright strike you to the ground, which is rough, but he is sort of profiting off of stolen work from their company, so
It's a weird dividing line. So if Kotaku publishes leaks, they profit from it because they get hits on that page, they get ad revenue. YouTubers do it too. If we leak info, we get indirect ad revenue from YouTube for it. And if a lot of people view that video, we get money. It's the direct link of saying, give me money so you can directly access this info. As long as there's like one step removed, it's not okay, but people are willing to let it slide.
There are also just journalistic practices. If Kotaku were to find this information, they'd reach out to 2K and tell them first. This guy was obviously avoiding the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Either way, isn't this just Take-Two being really, really mean to a superfan?
Kinda? Yeah, you can read it that way. Ideally, a superfan would be understanding if they were asked by the creators to back off. There are superfans of celebrities too, and they kind of cross the line once they start hopping fences and digging through people's trash. And that's sort of what's going on here.
In a statement to IGN, a 2K rep said, quote, "The information he's sharing about the situation is incomplete and in some cases untrue. Not only were many of his actions illegal, but they were negatively impacting the experience of other content creators and our fans in anticipation for the game." That's translation to, we're doing PR and this guy's f***ing our shit up.
Saying wrong things that we then have to do extra work to contradict, or saying things out of order, revealing them at the wrong time and giving people a erroneous impression of the game. What happened to Submato after that?
So he's since deleted some of his Borderlands 3 videos with leaked info, but not all of them. And like we said, his YouTube channel is still up, at least of this morning. Meanwhile, 2K and Take-Two told IGN they're not pursuing legal action against him, but that it's part of a larger investigation by the companies. 2K told IGN, "We will take the necessary actions to defend against leaks and infringement of our intellectual property that not only potentially impact our business and partners, but more importantly may negatively impact the experiences of our fans and customers." Meanwhile, Submato says he's gonna take a break from making videos.
Probably a good call.
Yep.
Probably, yeah, this seems like a little overwhelming for any one individual to go through. Interestingly, at the end of his last video, Submato seemed to offer a bit of an apology, saying, quote, "Since I've had time to reflect on the situation, I'd say excitement got the better of my judgment. And for those who will say I'm just salty, it got me caught or shut down or whatever, I'm a human being. Naturally, it's disappointing. But as an adult, as someone who's thought about it, yeah, it was a bit of a shitty thing to do."
Given that it does seem like he's reading a statement, which may also be genuine, but also seems to sort of cement himself as an innocent party in this. The statement is like, okay, I made a mistake, but I did it innocently. I repent for those things and I won't do them again. It feels like that's kind of like a legal party saying, say this and I think we're good.
Probably is true though. He probably was excited to find these leaks and was like, oh my god, I found a leak, it's gonna be my big break, I'm gonna share it with everyone, without actually thinking about what he was doing.
Yeah, I think that's true. So
I can't fault someone for being a super fan of anything if they're really into a franchise. It gets a little weird when you're saying, I'm gonna put leaked information behind some sort of paywall. Once the transfer of money gets involved, that's when it goes, okay, are you a fan or are you trying to
No, I don't feel
profit
like
off of this?
he was excited because he's a huge Borderlands fan. I feel like he was excited because he thought he was gonna get rich and be a YouTube celebrity.
Well, yeah, and it definitely blew his channel up.
Yeah.
You can see that in the metrics of his channel. So it sounds like either Strongman Tactics changed his mind, or maybe he realized he went too far by charging access to confidential data.
Right, regardless, it's important to note that multiple parties all slapped his wrists. Twitch, Discord, YouTube, and 2K all have found him in violation of their policies in some form or another.
Yeah, and just to be clear here, we're not saying that leaks shouldn't happen. You know, we're not going full hardcore like corporate dick suck here. Or that we think it's wrong of a super fan of something to want to absorb every piece of info about it and share that with other people. We've leaked a lot of info ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's a tough call to make because it does genuinely f over years of planning and hard work from tons of people.
Yeah, the important thing is that those actions are taken with full knowledge of their consequences. If we ever receive confidential information, we're also aware that leaking it will incur a lot of anger and in some cases business retaliation. That's sort of the game we're in. That's media.
The hard life of being a games journalist.
We didn't make anything off of that. You kidding me?
Usually leaks set us back quite a bit. It makes it a little hard to talk to people, but we work for you guys. We work for the audience, so we always have to weigh those things. In this case, it sounds like Submato got a good internal source and wrote it to some amount of YouTube success, but maybe got a little too close to that giant burning YouTube sun in the sky.
Hopefully he can go through this process and come out on the other end a little wiser and get back to making cool videos for the Borderlands community, right? That's good, right?
Yeah, so hopefully that narrative makes sense to you guys. Hopefully it's more of a complete picture. Definitely a compassionate story. What he puts out there is that he was just trying to do something cool for the crowd and then got bullied by two dudes who showed up at his house and kicked his dog or whatever.
That's a different YouTuber.
To conclude here, we'd like to extend our deepest thanks to 2K and Adam Gertz and Ryan Morrison at Morrison Rothman for sharing their expertise on the matter.
I think it's important to say here that like we're not trying to tell you which side to pick. If anything, always stay in the middle and just watch it from the peanut gallery like we do.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get all the facts we possibly can, and you guys did an amazing job getting all the information. So thank screw it, I'm pat ourselves on the back. You did good.
Thanks, buddy. One final note here, we did reach out to Twitch and Discord to verify their parts in the story, but unfortunately they couldn't respond in time for this video. If they do come back to us with some huge bombshells contradicting 2K's narrative here, we'll make sure to follow up accordingly. Information happens when you get multiple unrelated parties to tell their side of events, and once those stories match, then you have the truth, theoretically. So that's what we're trying to do here. That's some hard-hitting inside gaming for you. Thank you for watching, and go ahead and leave a comment if you're mad at us for taking 2K's side like we always do.
They won't care by tomorrow. They'll move on.
Fair.
They always move on. See you Friday.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by MeUndies because, like we say, it's important what's holding your genitals all day. And for the first time, we're concerned by more than just sausages. That's right, clams, ladies. You should swaddle yourself in the softest of fabrics. They have a new woman's line that say that women should have the freedom to wear whatever cut they want and whatever size they want. So ladies, rejoice! The Feel Free collection is here, because isn't that what you wanted your whole lives? To feel free? MeUndies size tested these 5 new silhouettes on every body type. They have an ultra soft feather light waistband that provides 0 restriction. Finally, you can shatter that glass ceiling and your genitals will feel cradled in a cotton womb the whole time. Sizes from extra small to 4XL. And they have new prints dropping every Tuesday, so you can make sure to find something that looks good as well as feels good. We also have a special offer for you guys. For any first-time purchasers, you can get 15% off and free shipping on your entire order. They also have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So you slap those undies on, you don't like them, ship them right on back. They'll throw them in a furnace and give you your money back. Once more, that's 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee if you go to MeUndies.com/InsideGaming. Once more, that's MeUndies.com/InsideGaming for 15% off, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Thank you, MeUndies, for treating the ladies right, and thank you for supporting our sponsors. That's spicy drama.
Absolutely. On top of that, we got Randy Pitchford, who's fighting with people on Twitter. That's always fun. So all is right with the world, yo.
God, I love you, Randy. You apparently got real snippy about being called out over microtransactions and managed to start a weird and huge conversation about the semantics of that word in the process.
At the big stage demo, Pitchford gave a rah-rah